Welcome to the Uncensored Comedy Club, where no topic is off limits and we laugh. When do we all lose our sense of humour? Well, one person who hasn't is comedian Ricky Gervais. When asked on Twitter yesterday what he thought about me interviewing the Taliban official spokesman, he said, "I've lost all respect for them. It was a gag. But a lot of half-wits didn't get the gag. Why? Why have I lost the ability to understand humour?" In a moment, I'll speak to one of the funniest men in America, Greg Gutfeld. But first, let's see him in action.
So it's 2021, and this monologue is on the Steele dossier. Like a birthmark, this story never, ever goes away. Is that my fault? No. I would much prefer to do something on Joe Biden breaking wind at the climate summit. That breeze was so hot, Greta Thunberg asked him to stand in front of a windmill. But look, that fart was the only honest thing to come out of Joe since he became president. As you know, Hillary Clinton is on her Please Don't Forget Me tour, now showing up on a late-night show to crack wise about the guy who shellacked her like a driftwood sculpture in 2016. Yes, Trump is her meal ticket, her free bird, her stairway to heaven. She brought Chelsea because she's also unemployed, and Bill wanted both of them out of the house before his 5 p.m. shows up. Her name's Crystal.
Well, Greg Gutfeld, George, Greg, brilliant to have you on Piers Morgan Uncensored. I had a great time with you in New York doing the Five, the show that you're a superstar on. Your own show is now the biggest show on cable in America. Congratulations. I want to take you back to
Thank you.
I want to take you back to a quote that you said, which I thought was really pertinent to the time we live in. You said, "I became a conservative by being around liberals, and I became a libertarian by being around conservatives. You realise there's something distinctly in common between the two groups, the left and the right. The worst part of each of them is the moralising." And I thought that was so pertinent to what goes on now, especially on social media.
Absolutely. One of the greatest things that the woke has done is that they've made humorlessness hilarious. So what I was talking about is like when you're around the left and they're so earnest and sanctimonious and yet they get nothing done, you drift away. Then you get into the conservative realm and you have the same kind, except they might be more religious, more moralistic in a different way. And you move into the libertarian world. But then even in libertarians, you find some humorlessness there. But what wokeism has done for all of us and has united like left and right and center is they have taught us how humorlessness is the funniest damn thing on earth. The only reason why my show was a hit is because of them. Right? Cancel culture, wokeism. I don't really have to do that much work, Piers, which is kind of my goal in life. all I gotta do is go on Twitter. You find the most extreme idiot, which is about 10%, right, of Twitter, and then let them do the work for you. They do the heavy lifting with their twisted mindset.
I mean, it was hilarious. It was hilarious last night. I interviewed the official spokesman for the Taliban, and somebody tweeted Ricky Gervais to say, "Isn't it disgusting that Piers Morgan's doing this?" And Gervais replied, "I've lost all respect for them, the Taliban," right? Of course, it's just a simple gag, but absolute mayhem erupted because most of Twitter took him seriously and just thought he was talking about, this was all disgusting. And of course he wasn't.
Yeah. No, and it's a classic joke. I mean, you could kind of see it coming. It's like, I'd call you a dirtbag, but I don't want to insult dirtbags. It's so easy. But the problem with Twitter, and it's part of free speech absolutism. Everybody's got to be there. Is that it's given an avenue for the humorless.
Yes.
So they get on, and they'll actually go on, and they'll see it. The funniest part about Twitter is when people come on and explain the jokes. So I saw that Ricky Gervais tweet. The stuff that didn't bother me was the people who didn't get the joke. It was the people that explained the joke. There was like David Baddiel. Is that his name? David Baddiel?
Yeah,
is that his name? He's British.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, here's why this joke is so good. And then he goes on to explain it. And it's like, oh, God. So in Twitter, you have joke explainers. You have the humorless contingent, which is probably about 25%. But it's just what you have to live with. I find that to be, in my opinion, more enjoyable than the actual legitimately funny people. I mean, without wokeism and without the humorlessness, we wouldn't have, Tatiana McGrath.
Well, this brings me to two of my favourite subjects of humour, actually, which are Meghan and Harry, who are planning to come and hijack the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And I know you find them a constant source of hilarity as well. They don't ever intend to make us laugh. They just make us laugh through their absurdity.
I love that her woke cartoon on Netflix got canceled. There's a great story behind this. The cartoon is called Pearl. It's about a coming of age, right? Which is a code word for nauseating, self-involved tripe. So what happened is, this is my favorite part. So it's like the young girl's rise in social justice. And you know who Meghan's cartoon is inspired by? Meghan. She made the cartoon. It's inspired by her, which is amazing. But that tells you everything. That in the woke world, it is not actually about helping people. It's a disguise. It's a virtue signal that helps you, that makes you look good.
Right.
And there's perfect evidence of this because they never help anybody but themselves.
And they never
when
mean
they
it.
fail, they don't even change course.
Yeah, they never mean it. It's never about actually anything but enriching themselves and making themselves look virtuous. And preaching one thing and doing the complete opposite.
I resent England for sending your secondhand royalty to us because now we got to deal with this.
Well, to be fair, hang on. To be fair, you lot sent 2 women into our royal family. One of them led to an abdication, and the other one has nearly broken up the entire monarchy. So, with respect to you, America, you're 2 for 2, and it's not looking good.
Yes. I just love the fact that they thought that they were going to be royalty here in America. So there was an assumption that and they were almost there. I mean, they were going to get gigs everywhere. There were Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV. Everybody was just going to give them millions and millions. And then they had to sit in a room with them and realize, my God, they're vacuous. He's a nice guy, apparently, but I mean, just thoroughly vacuous. She leads him around on a rope, and and it's like, that's it. That is the kind of sitcom I want to see.
I'll tell you the other thing.
I want to see a reality show.